How y'all doing? Well, this one review, I'm going to be reviewing a comic. This has been a very huge comic, particularly in France, but it's been influential to the science fiction genre itself. And I'm doing this because now, there's the new movie coming out a couple weeks from the time I'm making this video. It is Valerian by Kristen and Mizere, or if I'm sorry if I can't pronounce the names correctly. But here is a classic science fiction series that has influenced many people, including George Lucas. I'll get to that in a second. Of course, George Lucas has so many influences, and where he admits it or not. But this one right here from the Ninth Sign book, or the Ninth Art Publisher. I'm not sure, what that is, but the publisher who does this is volume 1. I think there's 2 more volumes of that, at least covering 3 story arcs, if I'm correct. But if not, you can get the individual story arcs by themselves. This first volume has the first 3 story arcs, and that is... Let me find it. And I just read this only a couple weeks ago, so... let's see. Yeah. Bad Dreams, City of Shifting Waters, and Empire of a Thousand Planets. First 3 story arcs of the famed Valerian series, or later it's called Valerian Laureline. The story is about a man who named Valerian, who in the future was part of a I guess a sort of police special agent agency. He goes through both space and time on adventures. In the first story arc, a rogue scientist has left to go into the past, and he meets up with his partner Laureline, who he goes back in time to medieval Europe. And he meets up with Laureline, who is native to that area, but she later tags along and joins him on his adventures, and so forth. Now, you see the trailer for Valerian, City of a Thousand Planets, and you take a look at this, and, good artwork here and all that. But if I had to give a critique, and I do admit it's kind of silly, because bear in mind, this is a series that started off in 1967. So, and 2 guys from France who also did some, who traveled around the United States, gained their influences from there and science fiction and so forth. They come back and do their own science fiction series, and became a huge hit for decades, really decades. I mean, and when I look through the first 2 story arcs, which are time travel stories, and they're all right, but I have to agree, when I took a look at something like this, I will admit I was kind of disappointed when I look at the interior art, and it's more cartoonish than what you figure would be when you first saw it. Now that will change over time, and let's see, let me show you an example here. You see Valerian on this cover, the guy right here, good shape of a man here and all that, but then you see the inside. Well, here he is, he's kind of silly looking, and here he is, see his proportions as he gets in the ship and all that. And the first couple of story arcs are of that, but now later it's refined to where it's less cartoonish as it goes by. And in this one, it does go Earth of a Thousand Planets. Oh, sorry, Empire of a Thousand Planets. Sorry. The artwork starts becoming more like this. It's getting further and further refined. They're less cartoonish, but wonderful, colorful, and everything. You can still see it connected to it first, but you can see that, it's like you get started and it starts off roughly, but you're getting the hang of it, and it gets just better and better involved from right on out. In fact, when we look at the slideshow, you can see examples of that. So these guys have been, these 2 guys have been writing and drawing this for, decades. Now, for what I was able to quickly research on Amazon, the movie is based on Volume 6, which is not in here, despite the similarity of title of Empire of a Thousand Planets. But I think Volume 6 is the one that the movie is based off of, so hopefully that movie turns to be a good ride. But if you're interested in the source material, pick up Volume 1, collects the first few story arcs, and you can, see where it all began, see where it influences. Now, I mentioned George Lucas earlier. Now, of course, George Lucas, if you're, for a lot of you aficionados there, and I know there's quite a bit of them, he gets his influences from like Flash Gordon, R2-D2 and C-3PO are based on the 2 characters from Akira Kurosawa's The Hidden Fortress, and so forth. You can see where he gets all this, and he took something and made his own. Well, apparently he's taken imagery from this as well. In fact, here it is. So you got the picture of the ship from here, and then later, this is, 1977, but this drawing took place a few years before. Princess Leia's slave outfit, while Laureline wears a similar outfit from before. And so forth, and so forth, and so forth, and so forth. Now, let's see. I don't think they took ill will of this. The creators, didn't. In fact, they even sort of, seeing this, you see Princess Leia and Luke there meeting Valerian and Laureline. Says, "Oh, fancy meeting you here. Have we been coming to this place for ages?" So, all in good fun. This volume also contains interviews from the characters, where they got their ideas. They interviewed both the creators and Luc Besson, who directed the movie. And how much they were influenced on this. Explore anything, tell anything. It says, the influence of Laureline. And I hope the movie turns out to be a great ride. I don't expect it to be like the great science fiction epic that'll live on forever. But, hopefully I think it'll be better than Avatar. Nothing, I not thought the Avatar was just kind of meh, despite all what they showed here. But I hope to get a better ride through the Valerian City 1000 Planets movie, and I hope to probably get the second volume, continuing adventures there. So there you are, Valerian Complete Collection Volume 1 from Knight's Sign Books, a Knight's art publisher. So check it out. Y'all have a nice evening.